Hey Homo sapiens and Marbites, welcome back to another episode of Saturdayz with me, Marbz. I am Rogue Marby Scott. For those of you who are new watchers or new subscribers and you might not know, yeah, I am Rogue Marby Scott. So today's inspiration has been something that I have been watching since I was a child, and it has also been remade. I'd like to see a live action of this show, of this character. I mean, if they did it right, it could be as amazing as some of the DC verses and Marvel verses, you know, like they would just need to be really precise on what they do. But I chose to do this character just because feminism. You know, as a child, I used to wear t-shirts on my head and, you know, used to pretend I was this character and, you know, flick, swish. And when this character was introduced to the world, like, I remember, like, a lot of people, well, a lot of children were like, nah. And I was like, anything he can do, she can do better. Anything he can do, she can do too. And so therefore, you know, I'm gonna decide to, ooh, look at me, I'm so oiled up right now. But yeah, I am going to do this, and I'm going to start off with my brows. So using a small angled brush, I'm going in with the NYX gel liner in black, and I'm going to create some really thin brows because characters in this show and the character that I'm emulating today have very slim 80s, 90s plucked brows, so I'm making them as skinny as possible. Using my liquid concealer from Primark in the shade Caramel, I am just going to carve out my brows, and I'm also going to make sure that I cover up the hairs that are left on my eyebrows, just because obviously there's no product on them and I don't really want you to see them. So I'm going to carve out the bottoms and then I'm going to carve out the tops. Using the shade Porcelain from the LA Girl Pro Concealers, I'm now going to block out my eyelids, and I'm going to make sure that I do this twice because I want the eyeshadows that I'm going to use later to look very vivid. Going in with my first shade from the James Charles palette, I am using Escape, and I'm using a small packing brush just to create a line underneath my brow and on my brow bone, just so that I can, you know, have a variation of pinks and purples later on. And then we will go on to using a new palette, well, my next palette should I say. Now going directly under Escape, I am using Cara from the Jolie Beauty Proud palette, and I'm just packing that up onto my brow bone and lid almost, and I'm just going to create a tiny blend before I move on to my next shade. blending those two shades together, I am now going back to the James Charles palette and I'm using the shade Skip, and I'm just going to put that directly under the Cara that I've done, and I'm going to blend it up just a little bit. And I'm trying to keep these shades kind of with a harsh line, because what I'm emulating is a background of the character or some promotional pictures. So yeah, I'm just trying to be very true to what some of the promo pictures have looked like. Now it's time to cut my crease. As you can see, I have been very precise with the placement of my eyeshadows already today, but I want to put some concealer on because obviously I'm going to be putting eyeshadows on, so they're going to stick out more. So I do want these eyeshadows to be prominent as the eyeshadows above, but also I want that crease to be very sharp. Going in to my wing area, I am now going to create a wing because we are going to have a wing out of eyeshadow instead of, you know, just eyeliner. Just because, I keep saying just because, but yeah, today we are going to create kind of like part of the theme, part of a structure from the show. Using the shade B from the James Charles palette, I'm just going to put that on my inner corner, and I'm going to put that on the wing part of my concealer and the cutting of my crease. I'm doing this because I want these yellow parts to be the brightest before we go into the middle, and I'm also going to add some shimmer into this. So there isn't going to be too much of a blend on the bottom half, but there is going to be a blend between mattes and shimmers. Using the Vivacious palette by Jolie Beauty, I'm using the shade Sunshine, and I'm going to use this as my shimmer because it is a yellow shimmer and the James Charles didn't have one, and I prefer to use Jolie Beauty anyway. But nonetheless, I'm just going to place that on the middle of my brow, creating kind of like a halo look, but clearly you're not going to see it that much because all the shades I'm using on the bottom half of my eyes are going to be yellow. Also, I'll leave a link down below in the description box where you can purchase some Jolie Beauty products that I've already mentioned. Now that my eyes are half done or almost done, I'm going to do my skin. So I'm going in with some concealer first because the bags underneath my eyes are really dark. So I'm just going to place some concealer there and on my nose, and then anywhere else there I feel like, you know, I might need some concealer, and it's the concealer I've already used to block out my brows. And then I'm going to go in and put on my foundation, and my shade is in the MAC Studio Fix Fluid is NW55 I believe, or NW50 depending on if I'm tanned or not. But yeah, just blending that out with some with a beauty sponge, and I did spray my face with a mattifying spray also, just because I wanted my skin to have like a more matte and just even finish. Like sometimes when you do dewy looks, particularly if you're trying to emulate someone else, it may look a little wrong. So the person that I'm trying to emulate has matte skin in my head, that is. Going in with mahogany now to do my contour, and today I'm trying to have my contour make me look as butch as possible. I mean, that's gonna be really hard because do you see my face? This is not a butch masculine face. But anyway, putting that concealer on in those little places, and then we're going to blend out with our damp sponge and continue with the look. Yeah. So going in with a spoolie, I'm just going to create a gradation in those brows that I forgot to do. Well, I actually just kind of left them for the end part because I wanted to see how it was going to look. I'm then going to go in with that same gel liner to create some individual stroked hairs onto my face because I'm so in love with this. Anyway, going in with the LA Girl strobe light in, I believe the shade is 10 watt. I'm just going to, you know, create some bronziness onto my face because I feel like this character, if they were real, or if, you know, they do come out with a live action show, they are going to be bronzed to the gods. They are going to be so lit. Moving on to lips, I'm going on to using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Kit palette, and I am using the reddest red in the palette. And yeah, I'm just concentrating on the middle parts of my mouth, creating kind of like a heart shape. And then once I'm happy with that, I am going to go in with a shade from the second line, and it looks red on camera, but it actually is like a pinky tone. And then I'm just going to blend those in together, and I'm going to place some highlighter on it. And the highlighter that I used was, I can't remember what the highlighter I used, so let's just go with the highlighter that we've already used on our cheeks, because we're not going to be using too much highlighter on our lips because we do want them to have that matte touch to it because of the person we're emulating, and her red lips were just red, so I don't want to take away from that. Using the super fat marker from NYX or NYX, I'm going to outline that wing and turn it into an actual wing kind of shape. And I chose to only go like halfway in at the top and all the way to the outer corner, just because I didn't want it to look too cartoony-ishy, although that's what we're trying to do today, but whatever. Anyway, but because of the marker, it wasn't picking up properly onto the eyeshadows. I decided to go in with the gel liner later just to deepen up some of those black lines that I've created, and then I will be moving on. What will I be moving on to? I can't remember, but anyway, how you guys doing, and how has COVID been for you so far? The inner corner highlight that I am using is Sunshine, so I've used Sunshine to do my eyelids, and then I am going to use from the James Charles palette, and I'm going to place it up there in the top right, top left. That's the shade I'm using, and yeah, just to brighten it up, you know, and that shade is called Ring Light, by the way. I'm going to throw on some mascara, and then I'm going to throw in some lashes, and then I think I am done. So Homo sapiens and Marbz, that's how I got the look. Oh. Wait. The look has changed. I wonder why.
Adora, He-Man's twin sister and defender of the Crystal Castle. This is Spirit, my beloved steed. Fabulous secrets were revealed to me the day I held aloft my sword and said, "For the honor of Grayskull!" Only a few others share this secret. Among them are Light Hope, Madame Raz, and Cowl. Together, we and my friends of the Great Rebellion strive to free Etheria from the evil forces of Horda.
So yeah, I was inspired by She-Ra, and yeah, I decided to do She-Ra because growing up when I was younger, I loved He-Man and I loved She-Ra, and you know, I kind of had a battle between them. It was like, oh, I really love He-Man because, well, why wouldn't I? And I love his cat because I love cats. Well, his tiger, his green tiger. And I just loved He-Man. And then when She-Ra was around, like, it, you know, it wasn't something that my sister watched. It wasn't anything that any girls that I know watched when they were growing up. It was only actually targeted at young boys. I'm glad that there was a remake, and I think the remake came out in 2018, 2019, I can't remember. And I like the remake because it's very girl friendly and empowering. It's very, you know, it showcases, you know, you don't have to be a woman and be, or a girl and be, you know, having the big boobs and the big bum and everything. You don't have to, you know, pin yourself down to what stereotypical heterosexual males want from you or whatever. But yeah, like I really enjoyed the first season. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and I hope you've enjoyed the series so far. My face looks very matte and pasty. But anyway, yeah. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Leave some comments and give me those thumbs up, yes. And, you know, share this video if you like to anyone that really enjoys 80s, 90s cartoons. So, my next one that I'm going to do, I'm not too sure. It's going to be a surprise. I'm not even going to leave a little clip at the end today. Bye, guys.
Hello everybody, I'm Lookie. Did you try to find me at today's show? If not, try now. Find me yet? I'm right here. I don't know about you, but I'm always amazed at She-Ra's physical strength. But she also has other powers, like love and kindness and fairness. Did you ever think of those as being powers? Well, they are. They work for She-Ra and they can work for you.
Marbasia.